Thought there'd be so many kids playing ice hockey in the desert. Jake Helb's Hockey Foundation and the Las Vegas Ice Warriors, founded by Gina Yusufzai 8 years ago, made it possible for families who can't afford the equipment and fees. Donate today at www.hockeyforkids.org and help us continue making a difference. Join us in supporting Jake Helb's Hockey Foundation and the Las Vegas Ice Warriors, where every kid gets a shot at the starting line. Just a reminder, our website is www.hockeyforkids.org.
Residents of Las Vegas Ward 5, are you ready for a brighter future? I would like to introduce myself, Dr. Erica Smith, your People's Choice for City Council, with a vision for progress and the fortitude to make it happen. I am committed to moving us forward. I am not just a candidate, I am a fighter for you. With myself on the City Council, you can expect a real change and a community that thrives. Vote for Dr. Erica Smith, because together we're building a better tomorrow. To learn more about me and my campaign, go to www.ericaforlasvegas.com, paid for by the Vote Dr. Smith Committee.
Voters want safe gun reform, ban military assault weapons, including AR-15s, have universal background checks, and red flag laws. I am Eva Chase, a candidate for Nevada State Assembly District 16, U.S. Air Force veteran, college graduate, progressive independent candidate, fully transitioned transgender woman, former lieutenant governor candidate for Nevada in 2022, where I received 7,212 votes in the Democratic primary. Follow me on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. Donate to my campaign bot fun account and stay progressive.
Hey everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premier Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Buying or selling a home is a huge life event that requires guidance from an expert in the industry and community. My name is Blake Wynn. You may recognize my name as my grandfather was the best governor the state of Nevada has ever had. Growing up in Las Vegas, I've come to know this community intricately. Now, I am raising a family here as well, so I understand all the issues impacting our home and quality of life. As the top realtor for the #1 real estate team at Keller Williams, you can have confidence in my experience, knowledge, and track record. When it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate, choose a name you can trust and someone who understands the community you call home. Call Blake Wynn today and experience the difference of a trusted expert. 702-540-3311.
Hi, I'm Jim Nance. And I'm a stiff. Anyway, welcome. Welcome back.
A win for the ages. A win
Hi.
for the ages, Brian Shapiro.
I'm Vern Lundquist, and I'm 145 years old, and I refuse to retire. No, he just did retire. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It is a Monday, and of course, the Monday after the Masters, we're going to talk a little bit of golf. Also, Jackson's Bar and Grill, your spot to watch really any games, particularly Vegas Golden Knights games. Check them out at Flamingo and Jones. I might be stopping by there a little bit later today, actually. Maybe use a little bit of free play, have some fun. Great bartenders, great action there. A great place to relax, great celebrities. Maybe even Jim Nance will roll into Jackson's Bar and Grill. Check them out, Flamingo and Jones, and tell them that I sent you. So, yes, of course, before we get into who won, and congratulations to Mr. Scottie Scheffler, who I've been saying now for years will be the best player in the world. He is the best player in the world for many years coming. There are some other storylines, Tiger Woods and other things to get to. But before I get to that, this is a crazy story. So Greg Norman, who is going to go down as one of the best golfers of all time, he's a legend in the game. Yeah. A choker on Sundays, but that's here nor there. He is the spokesperson for LIV, and he's got paid hundreds of millions of dollars to be the spokesperson for LIV. He asked for a ticket through the Masters Club organization through proper channels, and they refused to give him a ticket. So he actually had to buy a ticket. And his son, who nepotism at his finest, his son is a complete douchebag, Greg Norman Jr., by the way, goes on social media, trying to, say that, no, listen, my dad, they refused him a ticket, but he didn't want to go through the channels of, bothering golfers for a ticket, so on and so forth. And then Fred Couples making a joke. I love Freddie Couples. He's not a big fan of Greg Norman. Freddie goes, geez, none of these players would help you out and get you a ticket. Hey, Greg, Shark, hit me up next time. I'll put you on the list. And then his son just went ballistic crazy. It's a hilarious conversation. But the bottom, and Greg is claiming that his hand hurt so much because everybody was shaking his hand. They're not shaking your hand because of what you did for Liv, you idiot. And he knows that. They're shaking your hand because you're a celebrity and you're one of the best golfers of all time. They're not shaking your hand because they love what you did with Liv. Liv is ruining the game of golf, okay? It's ruining the game of golf. Why? Ask Dustin Johnson, one of the best golfers in the world who won the Masters. He shot 78, 79. Brooks Koepka struggled. I know Bryson DeChambeau was on the leaderboard a little bit, but most of these live guys are not playing very well. And when you get to a Masters-type tournament, they're not going to be on the leaderboard. Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm struggled. I mean, he struggled. He's arguably the best player in the world. I would say Scheffler is. So this argument that live golf is somehow growing the game is absolute nonsense. You know what it is? Nick Faldo said it best. He said these are guys that are playing resort golf courses in shorts. That's exactly what it is, with little to no pressure, and they're making boatloads of money. So that's the whole Greg Norman thing. Okay, the other side of it is Tiger Woods. Not surprised. I said it on the air that it wouldn't surprise me if Tiger Woods made the cut. Augusta National is one of the hardest golf courses to walk, period. I told you by the weekend he's going to be too sore. His physical issues that he has with his leg, he was going to struggle over the weekend, and he struggled mightily. His worst score ever at the Masters. He shot in the low 80s, which is horrendous for a professional golfer, no matter how hard the course is. And he struggled. Tiger Woods to play 4 rounds of golf walking anywhere is going to be very difficult for him. So that was the other storyline. Great that he made the cut. Good for him. It's incredible with all of his physical disabilities that he has now. For him just to make the cut is an incredible accomplishment, but not surprising. He struggled, and it was tough to watch him over the weekend. The last thing I'll say, Chris, and then you got the floor, is Scottie Scheffler. Scottie Scheffler has no weaknesses. He's unflappable. He is an incredible driver of the golf ball. He hits it a long way, booms it. He's a great iron player. He's got a wonderful short game, and when he's putting well, nobody can even touch him. There were other guys that gave it a little bit of run over the weekend, but Colin Morikawa making a couple double bogeys in 3 holes, that was the end for him. There were other guys that gave it a run. Aberg, I believe his name is. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but he was on the Ryder Cup for Europe. Great young player in his early 20s. Yeah. He's going to win the Masters one day. So nice to see some other guys in the mix, but Scottie Scheffler has solidified himself, if he hasn't already, as the best player in the world.
Yeah, Brian, a couple of my takes. Obviously, we're talking about the most prestigious golf tournament in the world when you're talking about the Masters, of course, being one of the majors. And there was multiple storylines going into this week with respect to that. And one of those, you touched on a number of them, the Tiger Woods effect, right? And when it came to, from a Vegas angle, obviously, from a betting angle, when it came to Tiger Woods, it wasn't necessarily about a lot of people going out there and betting Tiger to win the tournament, because obviously we all understand what his physical limitations are at this point in his career. But it was a lot of, I would expect, I don't have the numbers in front of me, that a lot of it was about betting Tiger to make the cut. I believe he's minus 130 to make the cut. And also betting him to finish top 20. I think those are the two real betting lines when it came to Tiger. But, of course, a lot of reflection on whether or not Tiger should hang it up when it comes to competitive golf at the highest level, right? And maybe go a different direction when it comes to his career. Also, that it was definitely, Brian, without question, a big storyline, the comparison of the PGA Tour golfers and the LIV golfers, right? You brought up Bryson DeChambeau. He finished the highest out of all the LIV golfers. I believe he finished 5th in the tournament. He finished the highest. We saw what Dustin Johnson was not able to do in this tournament. And then, there was, a handful of other golfers that are on the LIV Tour that didn't necessarily perform up to par when it came to the Masters and as far as the leaderboard on this. And it is justified, and it is exactly true what you talked about as far as this kind of being fat and happy when it comes to your bank account, right? When you're talking about golfers that have had their lives changed financially to the level that they have. Brooks Koepka talking about how he basically got 9 figures to go on the Live Tour. 9 figures, which is astounding. That is money. That is life-changing money, not for you, your generation, or your kids' generation, but it's for your entire family's generations for years to come. All right? That is something that has an effect from a mental standpoint on golfers. So that was kind of the storyline that really was talked about this week. It was also kind of cool to see, the likes of Colin Morikawa and some of these other golfers, right, that are kind of on the up and coming. You talked about Aberg as well, too, as a great young player that has high expectations. And it was cool to see people like Ashtay Bhatia, who, wins the tournament in Texas the week before just to get into the Masters, right? And he gets an opportunity to play. He's another guy who's kind of a young player who, maybe will be able to do something. So there was that kind of storyline as well, too. And then, of course, we get to the champion, right? Scottie Scheffler, who's now put on a green jacket for 2 out of the last 3 Masters, is absolutely the world number 1 right now. And there's no expectation whatsoever that he's not going to be a top player in the world. Impressive, right, to see it. You and I, Brian, were happen to be covering the Vegas Golden Knights game, and just a cool little caveat there, right? We're at a NHL game late in the season. Doesn't have a ton of meaning, right, between the Avalanche and the Golden Knights. And what did we see up in the press box on a lot of the laptops? We saw the final round of the Masters, right? So it gives you an indication that where it sits in the American pantheon that is sports when it comes to the Masters on a Sunday. It's pretty special. And so it was kind of cool to see how it all transpired. And there was kind of a feel, right, Brian, that, Scottie Scheffler probably should win this tournament, but let's see if one of these guys can make a run, right? Whether it was a Max Homa, whether it was a Colin Morikawa, whether it was any Aberg, any of these guys that were at the top that were chasing him. But he just didn't make enough mistakes, right? And he was able to rebound when he did make mistakes and to play well. And so he's kind of solidified himself and made history by getting his second green jacket. I believe, is he not the youngest golfer to win 2 Masters at this point in his life? I'm not sure exactly what the situation is there, but impressive for Scottie Scheffler to put on another green jacket.
Very religious man. Talks a lot about God, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But just very so calm.
Yeah.
And collected, and that's what you need to win majors. I mean, listen, Tiger showed
even keel, right?
Yeah, I mean, Tiger. Every player's different. Sometimes players that show a lot of emotions, but I would say, with Bryson DeChambeau, he certainly has the ability. But I think, he was at the top of the leaderboard over the weekend, but he's very different. He has a bad hole or hits a bad shot. He shows his emotion, and there's some guys that do that, and some guys that don't. But congratulations to Scottie Scheffler. Tiger Woods will never win and I said this after the crash. I mean, what an incredible talent, but he did it to himself. I'm sorry. This isn't bad luck. This isn't somebody that went through a stop sign and hit him. I think it's pretty clear he fell asleep at the wheel. The evidence proves that. They didn't do a toxicology report. So I don't feel sorry for Tiger. The fact that he just made the cut, though, with all of his injuries is a testament to him. Fred Couples, who I believe made 26 straight cuts in the Masters, did not make the cut.
Wow.
And then the first person who texted him after Tiger made the cut was Tiger Woods. I found that to be a little bit funny, but always fun to watch the Masters.
But you just said you don't think he's going to win another major.
No, I don't. No, I didn't just say that.
But it does create.
I didn't just say
but
that.
Brian, you got to admit,
He's not gonna win another tournament.
There's Tiger fans out there. They just want to believe. They want to grasp for something. They want to believe that there's one more chance that Tiger can put it all together for 4 days straight in a major.
Let me put it to you this way.
What was it? A handful of years ago, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5 years
Let
ago.
me put it to you this way. He still has a masterful short game because of his injuries. Forget about the soreness and having to walk a golf course 4 days in a row. People forget. You get there on Monday, Sunday, you play practice rounds, you're moving around a lot. It's not just 4 straight days. And these young guns are hitting it much farther than Tiger. Their irons are, 10, 20, 30-yard differences. He is nowhere near what he once was. Right. So you have to add that into account just with age on top of the injuries he has. I didn't just say he's not going to win another major. He's not going to win another PGA Tour event. It's just not going to happen. It's amazing he still has 2 legs to stand on. Yeah. But nice to see him out there. Nice to see him out there. Nice to see Phil Mickelson making the cut as he made the cut, which is an accomplishment at his age. But I'm getting sick and tired of these live golfers, talking trash about the PGA Tour. Just take your money and go away. John Rahm, saying that he went to live to grow the game. Will you stop the frickin' nonsense? You went to live for the money just like everybody else did, okay? These guys miss playing on the PGA Tour. Now, they have boatloads of money, so they can deal with it. Yeah. But they miss competing with the best players in the world. That's the bottom line. Live is not growing the game. Greg Norman can say that until the cows come home. It's not growing the game at all. That's number one.
But, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. There is wheels in motion that there is a merger about to take place between the PGA Tour and Live, right? So it's about to be.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, they're about to be combined together.
Yeah.
So this whole notion and this whole idea
of
Live and the PGA Tour being separate is about to go bye-bye.
It doesn't matter.
You know what I mean, though?
But I'm telling you,
what I'm saying,
it's not going to work. Here's why. You pay a guy like Dustin Johnson $400 million. He's going to play in the majors. And he'll probably play in a couple other big events, too. He's not going to play in the Shriners. He's not going to play in events. He's got all the money in the world. So I don't think this is going to help the PGA Tour much at all. Once in a while, you'll get a live guy that's going to be playing in a tournament like the Shriners or the Phoenix Open or something. But these guys have so much money. They'll play in a couple other events, but I don't see them playing in one or two events, PGA events a month. I just don't see that happening.
Well, no, here's the thing, though, Brian. The motivation for the PGA Tour, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, and for Jay Monahan when it comes to bringing Live into the tent, right, is money, right? Essentially, that's what it is. It's about the Saudi government essentially infusing a bunch of money into the PGA Tour. So these events, right, across the board, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but like that really is a big part of the motivation for the PGA Tour to bring in Live or to merge with Live is that they're going to get that cash, right? As far as their purses, they're going to get an infusion of cash when it comes to their purses across the board on all the events, and there's going to be some type of teaming up of these two entities that is Live Golf and the PGA Tour. So, I mean, it's I get your point, and I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. Yes, there are the Brooks Koepkas, the Dustin Johnsons, the Patrick Reeds, these people who all got huge checks, essentially, right, to just be on the Live Tour, right, to just attach themselves to that tour. They have life-changing money, and so you're correct. They're not going to be motivated to play in Vegas or play in New Orleans at the Zurich Classic, right, or some of these events. But from the PGA Tour standpoint, is what I'm saying. They're taking the money. They're taking the money from Live, which is, by the way, we're kind of ignoring the entire reason why there was a conflict in the first place, why people like Rory McIlroy and others it was a moral clarity thing, right? It was you people that are going to Live, you're taking blood money, okay? You're taking money from a government, okay, that essentially murdered a journalist and has done other things that to violate people's civil rights, or the perception that we as Americans have as far as our values, and you're just taking the money from a government, right, that's trying to cleanse themselves of that. We're kind of ignoring that because now that we are aware of the reality, right, Brian, that the PGA Tour and Live are merging together. But again, I'll go back to what I was talking about. To me, the motivation for the PGA Tour was money. It really is. It's about money. So
of course it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, great week of golf. It was fun to watch. Last night, we don't really get a chance these days, or at least I don't get a chance these days to talk too much VGK hockey. We are going to start talking more VGK hockey as the playoffs are right around the corner. But the Vegas Golden Knights with a nice come-from-behind victory, down 3 goals in the third period. That
super duper, right, Shap? Super duper come-from-behind win.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. So congratulations to the Vegas Golden Knights. And as the games get more important as we head into the playoffs, I'm definitely going to have Dan Duva join us and talk a little bit more VGK hockey. The NBA playoffs are right around the corner. From a local standpoint, we heard that DJ Thomas was going to be transferring, perhaps going in the portal, going to be transferring, and now we're hearing that he's staying. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I can probably come to guess that maybe UNLV paid him. Nothing illegal. I'm not saying any shenanigans, but he was paid to stay. That would not surprise me. We'll learn more about this in the coming weeks, months. With the NBA playoffs, as I mentioned, right around the corner. I got to tell you this, and I didn't think this at the beginning of the year. I'm still sticking by my guns in saying that the Boston Celtics are, in my opinion, are the most complete team and the team to beat them and the Nuggets. But I will say this: if the Lakers are healthy, and if Anthony Davis is healthy, and if this team is healthy, which it appears as though they are, the Lakers can beat anybody. I have questions at the guard position with D'Angelo Russell. But I think the Lakers can beat anybody, and they are capable if LeBron is a man on a mission like he was in the midseason tournament.
Yeah. I'll toss this at you real quick. What's going to be more interesting, Brian Shapiro, in the NBA playoffs, the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference, my friend?
Oh, in my opinion, definitely the Western Conference.
No doubt about it. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, the East, they have some good teams, but I think the Celtics have solidified themselves as the best team in the East.
It's Boston and everybody else, in my opinion.
Do the Nuggets get back to the NBA Finals? Can the Lakers could there be an upset there? I mean, don't count the Phoenix Suns out either.
The young kids in Oklahoma City, the really young kids, make their name and make a splash.
Too young, and usually young players in the playoffs struggle a little bit. They don't get the same calls they might get during the regular season, but we'll have to wait and see. I think there's a lot of great storylines in the NBA playoffs this year, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. If it's anything like the NCAA tournament, we're going to have a really good time. No question about that. All right, Win, we got to get him some free play at Arizona Charlie's. So always appreciate Win joining us, and we are going to have full coverage of day one of the hush money Donald Trump trial. And I know some of you MAGA supporters out there are going to be very upset if I go into details of the Stormy Daniels sexcapades with Donald Trump. I know that'll get people very upset. So I'll probably talk about that tomorrow as well. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, same place. Have a great day.